First of all, what's the contract? How long is the contract on the semi trucks? I just want to know. They like, we got our leases up in 3 months. We got to use it for every single challenge. Okay, every single challenge got the semi truck, and then somebody always says, "Man, this one about to be crazy. Like nothing we ever done before." We on semi trucks every other day. Every other day.
Yo, we just on semi trucks like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, like every challenge. So at this point, this is regular. Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. We are back with a new episode of our recap and review of the Challenge USA Season 2. This episode, we are continuing solo play of the challengers, doing individual challenges. And we are coming back from the elimination where Tyler won and Monty was eliminated. Yeah, I'm happy that Tyler came back. I like Monty as well in this show, but I'm happy that Tyler won.
Yeah, I am happy that Tyler won. We do see that Alyssa is also happy that Tyler won.
Yeah.
We also pretty much after the elimination, we get to see a scene of Sebastian and Tori basically getting closer, talking about how they didn't come into the house. I hate when they say this. I didn't come into the house expecting this, but I'm so happy that it happened. Like Tori, like the last 3-4 seasons, you had a little boo thing. So at this point, and then your original show is Are You the One? So come on, Tori, who you fooling? But they happy and in love. Sebastian is head over heels for Tori.
Yeah.
And Tori is like, I just want to win my money. You know, it's
yeah,
nice
Tori is here for money. I think
Sebastian
is more like, focus on the relationship. But even Fessy's like, Tori, this is not good for either of y'all games. Because
Fessy this season, I'm actually liking Fessy this season. Like, maybe it's because he don't have too many confessionals, he's not in too many episodes. Yeah. Fessy was like, I'm not being messy no more, I'm just laid back. Because it was funny. He was like, Tori, you've been down this path before, and it hasn't really worked in your favor. So what are you doing? You're messing up your game, like you said. And, you know, it's nice seeing Fessy kind of be a fly on the wall.
Yeah, I agree. First of all, this episode literally gave Chris too much screen time. So I knew something had to do with Chris this season. I was like, why Chris every couple seconds? And they gave him like 5 confessionals this one episode.
Yeah. So speaking of Chris, we do see that he and Michaela have a conversation. And she basically like, you moving funny. And everybody is starting to see it. And it's kind of rubbing people the wrong way. And if I were you, I would stop. And in that moment, I was like, Chris or Michaela going home. Like, it was just too much. It was too much too soon already. So I already knew that, like, Sebastian, plus for the preview, that Sebastian was going to be in this mess. So I was like, okay, these 3 are going to be like the center of the episode. And basically, he was like, do you feel that way too? And she was straight up and was like, yeah. Like, some of the things you did was a little sus. And yeah, I feel like I can't really trust you, but I'm open, you know, to work with you because you are a survivor. And that's kind of the main thing.
Yeah. And then everybody, I guess we get into that a little later, but what she said is true. It's pretty much a consensus that Chris is moving crazy. Like, just very much everywhere all at once. And they feel like he's playing both sides, really.
Yeah. And I also knew he was in trouble once. He was like, yeah, you know, I got survivor numbers, and I'm also cool with Corey, Fessy, Josh, Seabass. And I was like, oh, child. When you started pointing out your alliance.
Yeah, he named like Fessy and them as like his people. I was like, I think Fessy gonna stick his neck out.
And you haven't been playing with Survivor. You're from Survivor, but you haven't been playing with Survivor.
Yeah, like I was like, oh, he's confused.
The daily challenge, which I didn't really like, is called Speed Jumps. The player must use trampolines to peek over a wall at a series of numbers. Basically, the top 3 men and the top 3 women to add up the numbers correctly move over to round 2. And we don't get to know what round 2 is until round 2 comes. In the first round, literally Sebastian got it in one try. And everybody was just running back and forth, trying to like guess. And then it ends up being Josh Fessy along with Chanel, Tori, and Michelle.
Yeah.
The winners to move to round 2. So basically, stage 2, like you said, there's a semi truck where there's another trampoline. Only this time, instead of trying to add up numbers, they have to reach for flags. There's 3 flags, each worth a certain amount of points, 1, 2, and 3. And you only can take 1 flag at a time. However, I'm pretty sure somebody took 2 flags down and they added them points together.
Well, I don't think they add. No, you can pull off
Fessy took 1 flag, but
you can't rip off the whole thing. That's what I thought. You can't rip off the cord, but I think you could take all.
No, it's only 1 flag at a time.
Okay. Do you think they counted both points?
Because Fessy, when he ripped out his flag, he had 5. None of them flags were worth 5 points.
Well, I did see it when he ripped out the first one. It was 5. So that's why I felt like you can take it off as long as you don't rip off the cord. That's what I feel like it was.
They should make that a little bit clearer. But Sebastian, he get 9 points. He's the lead for the guys. Josh does horribly. I'm not surprised. I think he ended up with like 1 or 2 points. And then Fessy came in with a grand total of 15. After 10 points, I was like, how did he get 15 when they stopped the clock already? Like, so.
Yeah, he kept going. But like I said, he has to add them points. They were adding. They were able to take more than 1. They had to be.
On the women's side, Tori, this is why I feel like they needed a harness. Because why are they?
Well, they had something. I saw. That's what I said at first too. But then when I saw somebody else go, they had little strings attached to their hips, or like something connected them to the what's called the truck or whatever, so they didn't flip off the back. But the whole thing should have been, the whole bed should have been the trampoline, or at least some of the foam balls or something. You about to break somebody back. I was like, I will sue the challenge.
Yeah, you broke somebody's nose last season. Broke somebody's nose last season. You damn near about to break somebody back this season. So yeah, like we said, with that, Tori hits her back when she was coming from one of the flags. And it wasn't even like a ooh, it was just like a it was more like a ooh, this might be like a KO type of thing.
Yeah.
But she shakes it off and gets back, and she ended up with like 9 points or something like that. And then Michelle and Chanel.
Michelle got 2, and then Chanel went. And did Chanel get any? I think she got maybe 1. Yeah. I was hoping she would do good. But
yeah, I was rooting for Chanel. I was like, Chanel, you can do it. This is your, because we were just talking about how Chanel hasn't really performed in the challenge. And then I was like, okay, she finally in. This is her time to shine. And then this is what she does. So I was a little disappointed.
Yeah, so
our winners are Fessy and Tori winning her second individual challenge back to back.
Yeah. And so we see Tyler. Tyler's like, he really wanted to win because, he at the bottom of the list and everybody want to get him out because he's Big Brother. There's only 2 Big Brother, like only Big Brother players in there. And so, but he's like,
when Tyler was like, I'm trying to be here for Big Brother, I was like, ooh, it's only you and Alyssa. Like, ain't no more Big Brother.
Yeah. So, but he said, me and Fessy are cool, and so hopefully Fessy got him. And I was like, I don't know, but at the same time, I was like, if Fessy is thinking, he will have him, because then if you keep trying to eliminate these two lone survivor players. I'm not survivors, lone Big Brother players, and it's all these survivor players, you're just gonna shoot yourself in the foot. So I was like, please, Fessy, please play smart. But yeah, so, and same thing with Chris. He's looking at the writing on the wall, and he's like, I hope I'm not, I hope I'm safe as well, because he thinks Fessy got him too, and Fessy's his roommate.
Yeah, I don't know why he thought just because y'all roommates, y'all was tight, but yeah. So Fessy has a meeting with Corey and Chris. basically saying that if it was up to him, he'll put West and Bananas in there. But he knows that Tori wouldn't go for that, and that she's very vet strong. And then with her boo thing, Seabass, she's not as it limits his options of who to really put in. Yeah. So his plan was to go Survivor this episode because they are pretty much still intact. They haven't gotten a player eliminated yet. And basically they get into the elimination or nominations, and he's like, I go for Chris because I don't want to vote for Tyler. We did the same season together. And like we said, he wanted to go Survivor, and Tori was okay with that. But only if she would have agreed to keep Alyssa safe for the week.
Yeah, which I think is reasonable. I mean, it's good. At least save my Big Brother people. You can't save 7 Survivor people. I'm sorry. Yeah. That's not possible. So I'm going to save 2 people. Please, you can pick anybody else. So I thought that was a fair deal for her.
And she was open to that. So they chose their roommates of Cassidy and Chris.
Yeah. And so when they put the balls with their names on it, on the thing, they run away, and Cassidy and Chris see that they pick. I think Cassidy take these nominations too personal. Yeah, she take it too personal because who should I have picked? Like they gave the reasons, their reasons are solid. I did not pick
Michaela or Chanel because if I go for one of them, I'm pretty much going for all 3. Yeah, and they have a chance to get into power, and then they would come back at me. So
and Alyssa, I can't pick Alyssa because Alyssa's on Big Brother, which is who Fessy is. Do you expect him to pick his people? So like she take it too personal, I think, in regards to. I mean, in the moment, I'm sure, but when you think about it, you'll be like, who else could they really have picked?
So we get to the club, and essentially, Sebastian is feeling himself, honestly, throughout this whole episode. He was just like,
but I think throughout the whole season, he was feeling himself. I don't know.
He was too comfortable.
Too comfortable. Yeah.
Too comfortable.
Comfortable. Like, I want the rookies to be confident, but he was just too like, I don't really have to do too much. Like, I'm okay.
Yeah, so he's dancing with Tori. Like, I want to make a big move. I want to go for Corey.
The fact that you would tell Tori that, like,
exactly
what? That was just
Tori instantly like, hey, dude, you running your mouth too much. Like,
then you tell everybody, no discretion. You just tell everybody, you don't need. You need to look at people moving. He talked to Corey too much. Don't tell that person that you want to go for Corey. Like, it was just, I was like, okay.
Exactly. So he does have a meeting of with I think it was like Cass and I think like Chanel.
And Michaela
was there too. And he basically like, I want to vote out Corey. The vets are so strong. And then we can make it a guy's day. Chris is, moving mad anyway. So
Cassidy is like, okay. Cassidy was happy with that. She's like, yeah, then it won't be a girl's day. I won't have to do nothing. But Chanel's like,
at that point, they were like, Corey hasn't voted for me, so why would I vote for him?
Yeah.
And then Michaela was on the whole side of, Chris is Survivor, so it's better. I mean, I guess both of them are Survivor, but he was just like, it was more so, she was still rocking with Chris at that point. Essentially, after the club, Chris goes on a campaign to push for it to be a girls' day. He said he want to go for Michelle. He want to throw in Alyssa. He wants to do all this stuff. Everybody really is just like, okay, dude, you need to calm down. Yeah. And like Michaela said, I was right. This is exactly what I told you not to do, and you're doing it. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, he was listening. And then the vets, when he was in the room with the vets, and then Michelle came, and like you said my name, and he basically said, yes, he did say her name. Like, what do you expect is supposed to happen?
Yeah, I like how the way they edited it, it was like he was walking in to make the deal with the Devils. Like, they had a close-up on him, like, West, Bananas, and I think it was somebody else in there before Michelle came in, was just all surrounding him, but he was just like, hi, guys, can I talk to you real quick? Yeah. And West and Bananas was just laughing in his face.
Yeah, because like, what? Yeah. Yeah. And so then we come to before they did this, Corey had heard from Sebastian that he trying to deflect because everybody's against Chris at this moment. But he's trying to deflect, and Corey's like, I heard you were trying to throw me in. And he's like, no, that came from Chris as well. All the other rumors plus this one came from Chris. It wasn't me. So even though it was him, so he tried to put that on Chris, but Corey sees straight through it, and he's like, yeah, Sebastian trying to come for me. So yeah, they both are like messing up their own game. Nobody messed up their game except for them.
When we get to the actual nominations, Sebastian has 6, Tyler has 5, Alyssa has 1, and then Bananas has 1. And this time they did it they must have heard you talk because they showed the ball.
They showed the thing the first time ever we see the balls, which means that they must, through editing, must edit out the name.
Yeah,
like they must just edit it out. Because I was like, how we never see the name? Ball spins down.
Yeah.
And so TJ tries to do I don't know what it's called, but when you think they're gonna do something else, and he says it only takes one. Sebastian, even though Sebastian had like 6.
Yeah.
5 or 6.
So Sebastian and Chris are going head to head. They even put them in the sand going like face to face. And I was like, y'all got too much time on your hands or something today, because y'all showing us the ball. Y'all doing these setup shots in
I don't think I like this challenge. I don't think I like this. I was like, come on.
Yeah. Elimination is called Trick Trick Boom, a play on Tick Tick Boom, the play by Jonathan Larson. So basically the opponents start at a tower filled with balls. They must race down or gently step down the ladder, and then set up 3 barrels with panels on them to basically create a platform to their designated empty barrel, where the ball would have to bounce off the platform, hitting all 3 into the barrel, essentially. Yeah. And then once they get that one, then they have to add 2 more side panels to do a trick shot, and the ball must hit all of the panels to go into that trick shot and then into the black barrel.
Yeah, whoever gets do the second part first wins.
When TJ was explaining this, I was lost. I was like, this sounds a little too complicated. Like, who got time to be doing trick shots? And like,
yeah, first I was like, okay, I don't know about it, but I mean, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was when he was explaining it, because I was like, I'm really not gonna like this. But it was okay. It was an okay challenge. Out of the challenge we've seen, I give this challenge a 6.
I give it a 5.5.
5.5.
A 5.5.
But yeah.
But I would say I was rooting for Chris, because, like I said, Sebastian was just rubbing me the wrong way in this episode.
Yeah,
he came in, was talking about he's going to win this. He's going to come back to Tori, have a glass of wine, kiss her on the lips, and like all this jazz and everything, and just feeling real confident, like he does this. But Chris, isn't he like an engineer or something? Or something? But yeah, he took the methodical approach and was like, I'm gonna test the balls before I just like go through all these balls. I need to make sure that I can know. Yeah, it was just Chris, he did the thing.
Yeah,
and I was upset that nobody was rooting for him.
Yeah, I thought when Wes had made that comment that he would start rooting for him, but he didn't. But I think Chris was in his zone, and that helped him. I think Sebastian was like asking for help, and he didn't seem as confident in his approach to this game. So I felt more confident in Chris, and I wanted Chris to win this one. So yeah. So
and then at one point he moved one of the panels that he had already moved
that. That panel was fine. That wasn't the panel that
so it was just being cocky and all of that jazz. But I will, like I said, I did feel bad for Chris, because he gave us this sob story. They gave this clip of him on this rock in the middle of the ocean, very Little Mermaid-esque.
Not Little Mermaid, that was them in exile.
About how he was just all by himself on a deserted island. No one to care for him or love him. And I was like, you know what? I feel bad for Chris. Hearts go out.
Yes, I was Chris. So at the end of this challenge, after all is said and done, we get Chris winning, which was what I wanted, because like Wes said, He don't have that many allies. So I would prefer him to come back in and just be and have a second shot, as opposed to Sebastian come back in and it's same old, because he has a whole alliance behind him and Tori, and I can have him go.
Yeah.
But that is our review and recap of this episode of The Challenge USA Season 2. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you thought of the episode. And we will see you on our next video. Peace.